Hi everyone. So we go to the next part of your Science 1 portion, the physics part, and the chapter's name is sound. So we convert or we divide this into different modules so that step by step we understand everything. I have just bifurcated this chapter into around 15 modules so that module wise we will understand this very well. It's a very interesting chapter and very easy to understand also. Let's go to module 1. Now, what is sound? Sound is nothing but it's a form of energy which creates sensation of hearing in our ears. Sensation means we come to know that something is happening around us when we hear it. So that sensation which is happening in our ears is called as sound. Sound is produced by a vibrating source. Vibrating source means anything which is vibrating produces sound. So if you see, there is a drummer here, there's a person screaming as well as the speakers playing some music. So everything what is happening is vibrating. Even when we are screaming, our vocal cords are vibrating. So this is nothing but sound. Vibration happens, that means there is sound produced. Now, in the first one, there is a membrane that is vibrating in your drummer. Your vocal cords are vibrating. That's the reason there is a sound. And here the diaphragm vibrates. So everywhere there is vibration happening. Diaphragm is the vibration which happens in their speakers. Vocal cords are present in our throat, and here is the membrane of the drums. Sound travels in the form of waves. Okay, waves as in not, you can, if we distinguish this and we come to know about it by the water waves which are there, but these waves are different. Sound is produced, sinusoidal waves, waves which are happening when you see when someone is admitted in the hospital, the heartbeat is pumping on, or we come to know with the waves. The same way sound also is produced in the form of waves. Okay, so we'll just see a small video which is related to this. Please stay online.
Physics is a science which deals with many energies, and today we're going to learn about a different energy. What do you think? Did I do it on purpose? Of course, yes, because the chapter which I'm teaching today is sound. Now, students, can you hear that ticking watch? Why are you able to hear the ticking of that watch? Because there's something coming from that watch hitting my ears, making my ears to vibrate. But on the other hand, this particular sound is really awesome. But can you hear this cute little sound over there? Again, the vibration from this sound is different. So one thing is clear, students. Sound creates a vibration in our ears, and it is energy. Based on this, let us define sound. Sound is a form of energy that creates a sensation of hearing in our ears. But how does sound travel from one place to another? It travels in the form of a wave. Now, when you talk about waves, this is what comes to our mind, the sea waves. So, do you think sound travels like a sea wave? Let's find out. Now, to understand what is a wave, here I have a medium, and these are the particles of the medium. I take this wrench and I will hit the first particle only once. So, I hit it. Now the first particle hits the second particle once, second particle hits the third particle once, and there is a single disturbance traveling through the medium. Now when a single disturbance travels through the medium, that is called as a pulse. But now what I do, I take this wrench and I go on hammering the first particle again and again. When I go on hammering the first particle will go on hitting the second will go on hitting the third, and the third will go on hitting the fourth. So a continuous disturbance is traveling. Now when a continuous disturbance is traveling through a medium, that is called wave. So students, what is a wave? A wave is a continuous disturbance traveling through a medium. Now students, energy can be transferred in two ways. One is electromagnetic, which doesn't require a material medium, and the second is mechanical, which does require a material medium. So now let's talk about mechanical waves. Now when you talk about mechanical waves are of two types. One is transverse and other is longitudinal wave. So let us understand what these two waves are. Here we have a string of beads which is supported at its two ends. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold one end of this particular bead and I'm going to move it up and down. Now when I move it up and down, what do you see? Do you see a wave which is passing through the medium? Now let's try to understand this. What is happening? Look at the beads. How are the beads moving? They're moving up and down. But what is the direction of the wave? The direction of the wave is here. So are the two of them perpendicular to each other? Yes. So this is a transverse wave. So students, what is a transverse wave? A transverse wave is a wave in which the particles move about their mean position perpendicular to the direction of the wave. So students, now what I do, I have the same string of beads, but I will hold one end of the bead and move the bead back and forth. Now when I'm moving it back and forth, you can see there's a wave which is traveling through the string. Now what is the direction of the beads? They are moving back and forth. And what is the direction of the wave? It is the same direction. So that means the direction of the beads and the direction of the wave is parallel to each other. Such a wave is called as longitudinal wave. So what is a longitudinal wave? It is a wave in which the particles oscillate about their mean position parallel to the direction of propagation of wave. So this, students, was longitudinal and transverse wave. Here we have a 2-mark important question, and this is differentiate between a transverse and a longitudinal wave. Always remember, the first point is the definition. In transverse wave, the particles oscillate about their mean position perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. But in a longitudinal wave, the particles oscillate parallel to the direction of propagation of wave. The first point. Now how does a transverse wave travel? You can see it has got this ups, which is called crest, and it has got this downs, which is called trough. So a transverse wave has alternate crest and trough. But when you look at a longitudinal wave, the particles are coming close, forming a compression, they're going away, forming a rarefaction. So longitudinal wave has alternate compressions and rarefaction. The last point of difference is the example. In a transverse wave, the best example is the sea waves, and longitudinal wave, the name of the chapter, sound. Sound travels in the form of a longitudinal wave.
Okay, so I hope you all understood very clearly transverse waves, longitudinal waves, and how sound travels from one place to another. Let's continue. So, as we studied in our videos, vibration happening, that's why sound is produced. So if you see, continuous vibration produces sound. Now what is pulse? A single disturbance traveling through a medium is called as a pulse. Okay, remember this definition, single disturbance traveling. Now these are multiple disturbances happening. So this is called, if continuous disturbance is produced, the particles vibrate continuously, and that is called as a wave. Okay, so in the first one on top, 1 was touching 2, 2 was touching 3, 3 was touching 4, that's it. But here 1 is touching 2 and 2 is touching 1 back. 3 is touching 4 and 4 is touching 3 back. So such type of a wave is such type of a motion is called as a wave, and single disturbance pulse, multiple continuous disturbances is called as a wave. Let's continue. Wave motion is a mode of transmission of energy through a medium. Now, mechanical waves. Waves which require a material medium like a solid, liquid, or gas. So, certain sound waves are there which require something, then only they can travel. Otherwise, they don't travel. Such type of mediums are called as solid, liquid, or gaseous medium, in which only waves, sound waves can travel. They are called as mechanical waves. Divided into transverse waves and longitudinal waves, which we just studied in our video. These are oscillations happening. Top is called crest and down is called troughs. Particles of the medium oscillate about their central or mean position in a direction perpendicular. Longitudinal waves back and forth. Compressions when it comes together, and when it goes far from each other, it is called as rarefactions. Difference between transverse and longitudinal waves also we studied in the video. Crest and trough in transverse waves, compression, rarefaction in longitudinal waves. Example, water waves, sea water, and for longitudinal waves, example is your sound waves. Suppose you and your friend are on the moon, will you be able to hear any sound? Okay, on the moon now. Why will be able to hear or not hear any sound? Why? This is the difference here. So on the moon, what happens? There is no atmosphere. We have an atmosphere around us, but on the moon, there is no atmosphere and there is no medium. That's the reason there is no sound traveling, not happening. So no atmosphere, no medium. So sound travel does not happen. Velocity of sound in different medium. So velocity means how much a sound travels. So in solids, velocity is the highest. In gases, the velocity is the lowest. Related to this, we'll just see a small video. Please stay online.
Now, sound is a disturbance. Now, to prove this, what I've done is I've arranged these dominoes equidistant from each other, which I will call it as particles of the medium. And this here is a balloon which is going to act like the eardrum. Now, I'm only going to disturb the first particle, and let us see if the disturbance reaches the eardrum. Now, what you have seen is I disturb the particle, and each particle disturbed the next particle. Now the particles have not moved from their place, they are in the same place, but the energy has been transferred to the eardrum. So are you ready to sport? This is a race between solid, liquid and gaseous medium. Now see what I've done. This blue and purple dominoes, I placed them close to each other, and this is going to be my solid medium, because in solid medium, particles are closer to each other. Now coming to the red dominoes, this red dominoes, I place them at a slightly greater distance, and this is going to be the liquid medium. Now coming to the yellow dominoes, of course you have guessed by now, the yellow dominoes are going to be my gaseous medium, because here the particles are far away from each other. Now we are going to create a disturbance at the same time instant. Let us see who is the fastest. So let me begin the disturbance, and I'm going to start this particular disturbance at the same time instant. So now it is clear the disturbance travels fastest in the solid medium. So where will sound travel faster? Of course, the solid medium. So sound is fastest in the solid medium, slightly slower in the liquid medium, and much slower in the gaseous medium. So this was an experiment to show you that in solid, liquid and gases, sound travels fastest in the solid medium.
Okay, so I hope you all understood the traveling of the sound, how it is different in different mediums. Let's continue to the next module. Effect of sound on the density. Okay, so this is vibration of sound happening. Suppose there are 3 points at which there is compression happening. Compression as in joining of these vibrations. So which is the region of high density where there is compression happening, which here they are close to each other. The vibration nodules are close to each other. There the density is taken as high. Rarefactions where they are far from each other. Now here they are far, here they are far, here they are far from each other. So they are called regions of low density. Effects of sound on pressure. Now how much pressure is put? Now suppose the same vibration is happening. Again there is here compressions happening. All these three nodules, the long nodules are close to each other. So there is compressor happening. So here also there is high pressure. Where there is high compression, there is high pressure. And where there is rarefaction, there is low pressure. So how the density keeps on changing. So when we, let me select these points. Yes. So whenever compressions happen, it goes up. Rarefaction happens, it goes down. Compression up, rarefaction down. Compression up, rarefaction down. Compression up, rarefaction down. Let's go to the next module. Characteristic of a wave means what is the different properties that a sound wave has. The first one is your wavelength. Okay, this sign is called as your lambda sign. So one wave is equal to one oscillation. I said this symbol is called as lambda. Okay, now this is the symbol for wavelength. So one wave means one oscillation. ऊपर से नीचे तक, again in between. इधर से ऊपर नीचे and again between is one wave. That is equal to one oscillation. Okay, so like that there are continuous waves happening. Same way for sound waves also. These waves are there where there are compressions and rarefaction. So from compression up to the end of rarefaction is your one wave. कंप्रेशन यहाँ से शुरू होता है सी से एंड इट एंड्स एट द सी. एंड्स मतलब रेयरफैक्शन. कंप्रेशन आ रहा है, रेयरफैक्शन आ रहा है, फिर बंद. ओके, सो दैट्स द रीजन दिस इज कॉल्ड एज वन wavelength or one wave, lambda. Same way from rarefaction to compression is your second wavelength. So distance between two consecutive compressions or two consecutive rarefactions is called as wavelength. So compression to compression and then compression to rarefaction is your one wavelength. For example, compression से लेके rarefaction तक एक wavelength रहता. Now next, what is the meaning of amplitude? Maximum value of pressure or density is called as amplitude. Means how much pressure or how much density is there for a particular wave, the maximum is called as your amplitude. Next is your frequency. Now this is a ear. Okay, so how much volume is reaching our ears? Approximately if 1 hertz is there, so the wave is like this. If 3 hertz are there, you can see there are 3 waves. Okay, or 3 wavelengths, something like this. So 1 hertz or 3 hertz. So frequency is measured in hertz. So the frequency of sound wave is defined as the number of complete oscillation of density or the pressure per second, and this pressure, and it is measured in the form of hertz. The symbol is this small v and it is measured in the form of hertz. So it should be frequency, the formula frequency is equal to 1 upon t, t for time period. Okay, time period, time taken for one complete oscillation of pressure or density at the point. So any time period which is in seconds or minutes or whatever, that is called as your t, time period. Simple to understand this. So whatever sound is reaching, if it reaching in 0.2 seconds, it is your time period. Or if it is reaching in 0.5 seconds, that also is called as your time period. Let's go to the next module. Relation between velocity, frequency, and wavelength. What is the relation between all these three? These formulas are very important. Please write it down. Velocity is equal to distance upon time. So suppose this is one wavelength in lambda. So wavelength upon time period. So here in normal formula, we know that velocity distance upon time, but with sound, we know that in sound there is no distance, there is wavelength, and there is no time. It is called as time period. So velocity in sound is wavelength upon time period, that is lambda by t. Now, what is frequency? That is v, lambda into frequency is equal to v. So these all formulas very important. Please learn it well. So if frequency is increasing, speed decreases. Why? Because it is on the opposite side, no? And it is frequency is multiplied by wavelength, but speed will be divided by wavelength. So if frequency into wavelength is speed, but speed upon wavelength will be equal to frequency. As frequency increases, wavelength decreases, and speed nearly remains the same. So any medium at a fixed physical condition matlab, suppose we are not affecting that particular sound medium, the velocity of sound of different frequencies will nearly be the same. Let's go to the next module. What are the characteristics of a sound? We already studied this in the previous module. Now we'll study a little more in detail. Amplitude is nothing but the loudness of the sound. So how loud a sound is, that is the amplitude. So if you see here, the waves are close to each other. Okay, so that time the loudness is more, and when the waves are little far from each other, up and down, far, crest and troughs are far, so that time the sound is soft. Okay, we'll go to the next module now. Characteristic of a sound. Now suppose we already studied about amplitude before. Now we'll just see how amplitude affects the loudness of the sound. So if you see here, the first diagram, the waves are a bit close to each other, up and down. The crest and the troughs are a bit close to the axis, x-axis. So when they are close to each other, that means there is less amplitude, so the sound also is less. But if they are a bit far from each other, that means the amplitude is more. Why? Because the sound is louder. Next is pitch of the sound. Amplitude explains shrillness in sound. Shrillness मतलब कितना pitch या कितना bass है sound में या कितना treble है sound में. How squeaky the sound is, how gruff and heavy the sound is. That is depending on the pitch of the sound. So if you see a shorter wavelength, the pitch is high. So higher frequency means high pitch. And shrillness in sound, suppose there is lower frequency, means low pitch. So girl's sound is normally having high pitch. Okay, it is a bit squeaky. So larger the wavelength, pitch is low. So boys have a sound which is of low pitch. Let's go to the next module. Velocity of sound in gases now. Okay, so suppose sound is traveling in a medium where there is gas. Let us see how the velocity is affected. Now, this velocity depends on three factors, that is the temperature of that medium, density of the medium, and the molecular weight of that particular medium. So, let's see the difference between velocity and temperature. Now, this is a vibration that is happening. Now, suppose 2 points at this particular rod. Yeah, so when heat is, if you see, when heat is subjected, there is more velocity. Okay. So, that means if the temperature is more, the velocity is more. So in this table also you have understood. 337.46 and the temperature is 10, 340, then 15, and as it increases more. So what do we infer with this? That velocity is directly proportional to the square root of time. Very important formula, please write it down. Now next, velocity and density. Let us see what relation it has. Vibrations happening. Okay, so when it's close to each other, there is more density. So we know that the velocity is so much. Okay, temperature is so much. Now this is not temperature, this is density. Okay, there is a printing error. So if velocity is so much, density is so much, velocity is more, density reduces, velocity again becomes more, density reduces. So it is not as temperature. If the velocity increases, the density also decreases but not increases. Okay, but in temperature, if velocity was increasing, temperature was also increasing. But with density, velocity increases, temperature decreases. Please remember this. That's why it is called velocity is the inverse proportion of density. That is the symbol of density. Let's continue now. Molecular weight, weight of each molecule. So when there is vibration happening, if you see, suppose the velocity is less, the molecular weight is more. Molecular weight matlab each nodule ka weight. Now if you see, it increased, no, it was small before and then each nodule ka weight became more. So velocity is inversely proportional to molecular weight. Let's go to the next module. Reflection of sound. Okay, reflection as in sound passes from one place to another and it can come back also. It reflects back. Okay, that's why that is called reflection of sound. So if you see here, sound is traveling from one place. Suppose it is traveling to this pipe, it will again travel back to this pipe in the other place. This is your normal. Okay, so angle I and R is called as your angle of incidence, and R is your angle of refraction. So angle of incidence and angle of refraction. So direction of the incident sound and the reflected sound wave make equal angles with the perpendicular. So incident here, incident ray मतलब यहाँ से sound आ रहा है और यहाँ से refract हो रहा है. Refract मतलब it is passing through this and going. Reflection मतलब यहाँ से आएगा और यहाँ से वापस आएगा. Refraction मतलब यहाँ से जाएगा and it will pass through this and go deviated. Deviated matlab the direction will change. So incident sound wave, reflected sound wave and normal lie in the same plane. Abhi the same thing. Suppose this is your reflected wave. We know that ये वाला जो है वो reflected wave है, वो refracted wave है. ये refracted है और जो वापस आता है, this will be your reflection. Okay. So this part is your reflection. ये वाला जो है is your reflection that is happening, and this is your refraction. So this is a refracted wave, this is your reflection wave, और ये वाला जो red wave है is your incident ray. So incident ray, refracted ray, and this is your reflected ray. So if we are standing here and sound जाएगा तो वापस हम लोग को सुनाई दिया, so it is reflection. But suppose we don't hear it and it is going through an other place, it is called as refraction. Okay, I wrote the spelling of incident wrong. It is INCI. Let's continue. Next module. Suppose you are standing here at a cliff. Okay, you must have gone somewhere to a hill station sometime in your life. So you are standing at a mountain or near a area where there is only mountains in front of you. What happens? Suppose we scream loudly. Okay. So there is all reflection happening back. All reflection happening back from all the medium. So 3-4 medium से reflection होता है. That's why we hear the sound repeatedly again and again. So that is called as your echo. Repetition of sound due to reflection from a distant surface is called as echo. Suppose the sound is repeated and there is reflection happening from those surfaces, it is called as echo. So what is the condition by which we'll hear an echo? Conditions required to hear reflected sound is at 22 degrees Celsius, the speed of sound in air is around 344 meter per second. So to hear a distant echo, sound wave should reach after more than 0.1 second after starting from the source to get reflected and come back to us. So the temperature has to be around so much. Speed of sound is around 344 meters per second normally. But suppose we want to hear an echo, so our sound should reach after 0.1 second. That means the conditions in our surroundings should be favorable for us to hear an echo. Then only we will be able to hear an echo. Now this is our human ear. Okay, so suppose we scream, what happens? It reaches our brain. That's why we come to know, suppose hello is said, we will hear hello only. We will not hear anything else. So brain processes the sound and we are able to understand it because of our ear. So when two sounds enter the ear, more than 1.10th of a second, both the sounds can be understood. But suppose it takes less than 1.10 seconds and we keep on blabbering something, then we'll not be able to understand clearly what is being said. So if two sounds enter the ear within 0.1 second, then the brain understands in one single sound. Velocity, as we know this formula, is distance upon time. Distance into time is velocity into time is distance. Velocity of sound is around 344. So 344 into now time, we said 0.1, that comes to 34.4 meters. That means if you want to hear an echo, that particular mountain which through which you want to hear an echo should be at a distance of around 34 meters from you. Then only you'll be able to hear the sound. 34 meters from you matlab kya? Going and coming 34 मतलब 17.2 meters sound जाएगा, 17.2 meters sound आएगा. So 17.2 plus 17.2 is 34.4 meters. So echo can be heard only if the distance between the observer and reflecting surface is at least 17.2 meters. So double करेंगे तो 34.4 होता है. This is your why echo is not heard everywhere. That means suppose you are standing, you can hear the echo. But suppose someone else is standing there, he doesn't hear the echo. But someone else, he's standing in a different place, not at the same place where you are standing. So why it is not heard everywhere? Echo can only be heard if the surface is rigid. Rigid matlab a tough surface like a mountain. Okay. Now even if your house, even if you are suppose you are in your room, but there is no furniture, nothing in your room, and totally empty, and you scream in your house, then also you'll be able to hear a slight echo. Okay, so reflection should be only the walls. Now when we are in a house and there is furniture and TV and everything, and if we scream, we'll not hear echo because so many surfaces are there, so they will not give us an echo. But if there are less surfaces, only one or two walls are there around us, and we scream, then we'll be able to hear an echo. So can echo be heard at this type of a place? Here we cannot see any mountains. Okay, only trees and all. So echo cannot be heard if the mountains are covered with trees because trees absorb the sound. Now your room. Can echo be heard in a furnished house? Furniture in the house absorb the sound, hence echo is not heard. Fine. So I hope you'll understood till here. Let's go to the next part, reverberation. Now this is an auditorium. Auditorium matlab kya? Like a theater or something, or a drama theater where people sing or whatever. So we have noticed in a theater what happens whenever there is sound. Okay, it vibrates and it echoes in the entire auditorium, and it gives us a good sound. But we get a direct sound, doesn't echo so badly that we can't hear, but we get a good rough sound because it reflects. An auditorium has a certain capacity of reflecting the sound. So sound waves get reflected from the walls and roof of a room multiple times. This causes a single sound to be heard not once but continuously. This is called as reverberation. The sound heard continuously is reverberation. It is not echo. Okay, echo is a different thing and reverberation is a different thing. So if you see a person singing, reflected sound and actual sound. Now suppose a person is singing, okay, when there is reverberation, you get a good sound. Okay, so when there is no reverberation, you will not get a very good quality of sound. Suppose a person is standing in front of you and singing, it's a different thing. But suppose a person is singing in an auditorium with a mic, because of the walls of the auditorium, there is reverberation, so we get a very good sound. Okay, frequency and type of the sound. Suppose the frequency of the sound is less than 20 hertz, matlab 20 hertz se kam, then such type of a sound is called as an infrasonic sound. Suppose the frequency is between 20 and 20,000 hertz, such type of a sound is called as a sonic sound. That is what we can hear. 20 hertz ke niche we cannot hear it clearly. or you cannot hear it at all. But 20 and 20,000 hertz के बीच में sonic sound which we can hear, a human ear can hear it. More than 20,000, ultrasonic sound. Okay, all these make ultrasonic sounds. Okay, dogs, this, these ultrasonic sounds with mouse also makes, bats also makes. So ultrasonic sound we cannot hear. Okay, they can hear it and they can say it also, speak it from their mouth. Okay, we'll go to the next module in our next lecture. I hope you'll have understood everything till here, till then. And yes, if any doubts and all are there, we'll obviously discuss it in our offline lecture. Okay, see you all in the next lecture. Bye everyone.